Good morning everyone. I am Dr. K. Brinda, Head of Department BCom Professional Accounting in Dr. S.N.S. Rajlakshmi College of Arts and Science. Today our topic is about designing a questionnaire. A questionnaire designing is one of the hardest and yet one of the most important parts of the market research process. Given the same objectives, two researchers would probably never design the same question. And there are 7 steps to prepare a proper questionnaire. First step is to decide what information is required. The starting point is for the researcher to refer to the proposal and brief and make a listing of all objectives and what information is required in order that they are achieved. And step 2 is making a rough listing of the questions. A list is now made up of all questions that could go into a questionnaire. The aim at this stage is to be comprehensive as possible in the listing and not worry about the phrasing of the questions. And step 3 is refining the questioning phrase. The questions must now be developed close to the point where they make sense and will generate the right answers. And the next step is to develop the response format. Every question needs a response. This could be a pre-coded list of answers or it could be open-ended to collect verbatim comments. Consideration of the responses is just as important as getting the questions right. And the 5th step is to put questionnaires into an appropriate sequence. The ordering of questions is important as it brings logical flow to the interview. Now the respondent is eased into the task with relatively straightforward questions, while the more difficult or sensitive ones are left until they are warmed up. Questions on brand awareness are asked first, unprompted, and then they are prompted. And the 6th step is to finalize the layout of the questionnaire. The questionnaire now needs to be fully formatted with clear instructions to the interviewer, including a powerful introduction, routing and prompts. There needs to be enough space to write in answers, and the response codes need to be well separated from each other so there is no danger of circling the wrong one. And the last step is pretest and revise. The final step is to test the questionnaire. It usually isn't necessary to carry out more than 10 to 20 interviews in a pilot because the aim is to make sure that it works and not to obtain pilot results. In theory, the questionnaire should be piloted using the interviewing method that will be used in the field. Over the phone if telephone interviews are to be used, self-completed if it will be self-completion questionnaire. Time and money can preload and proper pilot, so at the very least it should be tested one on 1 or 2 colleagues for sense flow, clarity of instructions. The whole purpose of the test is to find out if changes are needed so that final revision can be made. When carrying out the pilot, it is best to run through the questionnaire with the genealogic respondent and then go back over the questions and ask for each one what went through your mind when you were asked in this question. And that's And then types of questionnaire is structured and unstructured questionnaire. Structured questionnaire has 3 major categories. The first one is single response with nominal or ordinary categories. Example, from the following list, please select the category which includes your household income. Second one is multiple response. For example, from the following list of pizza toppings, please select any or all that you regularly use. And third one is scaled questions. The presenter is doing a good job. Strongly agree to, strongly disagree. And there are numerous various options on these primary types. When it comes to unstructured questions, they are a bit more qualitative in feel. They do not require predefined categories and they allow the respondent to express their views openly. This is their blessing and their curse. Open-ended questions, as they are also known, produce higher cognitive load in the sense that the respondent has to think harder to come to an answer. This can create a lower response rate and sometimes lesser quality data. On the other hand, they can produce rich insights that provide depth and color to the black and white of an unstructured question. Open-ended questions are require additional time on part of the researcher to analyze and code response, although text mining software is making them easier. For best results on survey, keep open-ended questions to a minimum and use them as a sub-questions driven by critical responses to a structured question. Thank you. And the next topic is essentials of constructing a questionnaire. So it must translate the information needed into a set of specific questions that the respondents can and will answer. And the second one is it must uplift, motivate and encourage the respondents to become involved in the interview and complete the interview. It should minimize the response as well as the other type of errors. The inquiries made in surveys may be concerned with facts, opinions, attitudes, respondents' motivation, her knowledge on certain issues and the like. Most questions, however, can be classified in either two of the general categories: factual questions and subjective questions. These questions are designed to elicit objective information from the respondents, that including such information as respondents' education, occupation, religion, and social status. Subjective questions elicit the respondents' personal opinions, experience, attitudes, knowledge, interpretations, point of view,